Hey everybody, welcome back to the Homestead. I'm Joe, and today we're going to be building a hanging room. If you don't know what a hanging room is, that's okay. I promise you it's not like the gallows. It's not anything like that. It's not that morbid, but we are going to be hanging things. We're going to jump in with Mark and Jill Baker to answer all your questions. This is the Anyone Can Farm experience. So before we get into the actual building of the hanging room, we're just talking with Jill here real quick. Why would somebody want to build a hanging room and or do like cured meats like this?
Cured meats are the ultimate prep kind of meat. And it doesn't matter if you're prepping for the zombie apocalypse or just to travel and you want to take your food with you, go to the beach for the day, whatever. You're someplace where the electricity goes out in the winter storms or, summer lightning. Your meat, you're not worried about the freezer. If it's in the freezer, you got to keep it frozen until you're ready to do something with it. This way, it's just ready to go and it's available. If you are in the zombie apocalypse prepper mode, having food that's good for 20 years is great, but it's really dead food. This way, you can be procuring food. You've got living food, healthy food. When you're traveling, you don't have to buy food because you've got shelf-stable stuff that is healthful, and it's from your own farm. So it's a great way to make food that you can carry and go and sustain life on. Live food is food that still has live enzymes and all the other parts of the food that enable your body to digest it. Food that is shelf stable for years and years and years, canned food, home canned green beans or whatever it is, the canning process kills the life of the food, and that's what makes it shelf stable, right? But this is living food, and that means that this is food that will sustain your actual life. It doesn't just have inert vitamins and minerals now. It has actual life in it. So when you hang your meat or you cure sauerkraut or kimchi or pickles, you're preserving not just the vitamins and minerals, but also the enzymes and the bacteria and all the parts of the food that help your body break it down.
Also note that you're standing in a circle of pepperoni. This is all going to be going into the hanging room, right?
Absolutely, yes. In the classes, we enjoy sharing this stuff, but we're also going to take it to the beach this summer when we travel. This is our carnivorous food. Oh yeah, we've got pepperoni and hunter sausage and sopressata, so all different flavors. It's just really fun to make this stuff.
So today we're going to be looking at a couple of aspects that go into a hanging room. What are those three aspects?
Okay, well the room is being designed so we can control three things. We want to control light. We don't want a bunch of light in there, right? So no windows. We want to control the temperature. So we're going to use, in this case, we're using an insulated, it was a cooler, and so we can control the temperature in there better than we could if it wasn't insulated. And then moisture. And moisture is just the humidity in the air. Okay, come on in. Right, so today I got to insulate this. I got to get the sheathing on here. We're going to build some shelves across here for all of our packing supplies. We got to get this completely sealed up with caulking and painted. Let's get to it. All right. Well, this is silicone sealant caulking. And so there was a little bit of a gap right there. And so I just loaded it. And then I'm just going to smooth it so I can see that I've got a good seal. And nothing's going to be able to get past that.
And that'll also help you control humidity in this room as well.
Very
right?
much so, yeah. Yeah, we want this this room, if it could hold water, that would be a good thing. I don't think we need to be that precise about it, but we're going to do what we can.
Do the best we can. all this work here yourself pretty much, huh?
No, not exactly.
You hire folks or something?
Nope.
Contractors?
My secret weapon,
What's that?
boys.
Oh, Jim and Frank in the house!
Well, the hanging room is designed so that we can limit heat, humidity, and light. So when we built the room, I insulated as much as I possibly could so that the heat and coolness of it won't spike either way. As far as light goes, as soon as that door is closed and I've turned the light off, then there isn't a light issue. We really don't want light getting in on the meat. As far as humidity goes, the room is completely sealed, all right, and that gives us two things. It makes it so we can run a dehumidifier in there to take the humidity out of the air if we've got too much, or if it's too dry in there, we can run a humidifier to put a little bit more humidity in the air. As far as cooling, you know, I'm on the north side of a building, so it's not going to get any direct sunlight. When it gets really hot in the summertime, what we would do is vent it at night and draw in cool air during the day. I've got a lot of concrete in their walls that will absorb the coolness, and then they'll let it go back into the compartment. I think this was
Little
$25. $25 heater.
Yeah.
It's a ceramic heater.
You got a thermostat on top, so you're able to just kind of set
Yep.
that where you want it, and then dehumidifier there in the corner.
Right there. We have one of these. This gives me a humidity readout up here and a temperature here in Fahrenheit. So these both need to be, if both of them are at 60, I've got a good situation going on.
Yeah.
If they're not, then I have to figure out why and tweak this so I can get it to that point.
And another thing about you said about the screen door here is so for you to walk in and look at things and make sure everything's okay, it's a weak point where potentially you could get a fly in there.
Yeah.
Or wreck your humidity. It's a rainy day and then you get too much water in there. With the window in the door, it's very easy for you to just visually turn the
Right.
light on, check, look at your humidity gauge,
Yeah.
and verify everything's okay.
It's like an inspection window. If everything's good in there, why do I want to open it up? I don't. I
exactly.
flip the light on, everything's good, flip the light off.
So real quick, we're going to talk about mold.
But if you see this low profile white mold, you have got gold going on
That's
in your hanging
awesome
room.
in there. Yeah, you can see it. I mean, it's fairly faint there, but
Yeah. Yeah, and
It
it's a
almost- it
spore,
almost is
so it will
unnoticeable.
spread. Yeah.
it'll just get better and better. And if you're building a new hanging room, would you recommend going and getting like a dry cured sausage with some white mold on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get one of those that has the casing, that has the white mold on it. Enjoy the sausage and put the casing in your hanging room.
Inoculate it.
Absolutely.
For
Plant
sure.
the good seeds.
All right, so now we're going to jump over and look at some bad mold and what to do when you find it. Let's go. All right. So this is a cow that we killed a few weeks ago.
4 or 5 weeks now this has been in the...
And it's been just dry aging, but unfortunately, due to whatever, bad conditions in the cooler.
Lack of airflow.
Lack of
actually.
airflow.
Yeah, it was cool enough, but the fan wasn't on, so it wasn't circulating the air. And that's one of the things that can cause the bad mold to proliferate.
Yeah.
Black and green, and you can see how this is so fuzzy. This white is fuzzy. You don't want the fuzzy mold. You want the low profile mold.
So what do you do when you find this in your hanging room?
Well, first, you don't panic. And
What if we've already panicked?
you don't throw your stuff out, because when you first see it, that's your first reaction. And even now, when I first saw all this mold on this piece, I thought, oh my gosh, and you just, so take a breath, take a breath. Go find yourself apple cider vinegar. This one it isn't like one of the super expensive ones, and it works just fine for what we're gonna do with it. And then you just pour it on, rub it in. Most things, you're gonna take this outer layer off anyway. Like this meat, I'm gonna be cutting all this off anyway, so I just don't want it to be growing down into the meat and kind of ruin it. So rub it in. I'll let it set for a few minutes. And then rinse it off. Yep, rinse it off. And then before I put things back in the hanging room, I let them sit out overnight at least. So I make sure that they're dry and that I've gotten it all. Because stuff can hide in cracks, and you want to make sure you get it all out before you hang it back in the hanging room and it shares with everybody else again. So.
And obviously this is just a cut of beef, so this is just going to get cut. But if this was a piece of meat that needed to continue hanging, you would have to do a full clean on it and then go back in the hanging room.
Yep, and then you can put it right back in there. Make sure you check your conditions again, because it's the conditions that allow the mold to proliferate, either good or bad. So check your conditions, clean it off, make sure you got it all, and then just hang it back up.
All right, there we go, guys. We showed you how to build your hanging room and why to build your hanging room, right? So if you guys are interested in learning how to make your own charcuterie meats, because I know you're going to build one of these and you're going to want to put some meat in there, head over to the Anyone Can Farm Experience. The link is in the description. We offer classes here all the time. Come hang out and learn how to make your own cured meats. It's a good time. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.